Hey everybody, so if you didn't hear, OpenAI had a big announcement this week, and that was about the release of something called GPTs. And it was an opportunity for you with pretty much no code to create your own sort of trained version of ChatGPT. So in the most simple way to explain this is that a GPT, one of these custom ones, which we're going to build one today, is built on the ChatGPT model, like as really the underlying almost OS, and then we can train it with documents or even other instructions to kind of create our own bot, right? So you could think about that. You could create that for companies or for their marketing departments, or you could create a travel advice bot. You could create a tax or accounting bot where you feed it lots of like US tax codes. I saw someone do that recently. You could train it with all sorts of worldly knowledge, and it could be an expert on one particular arena. Now, you could do that right now to some degree with ChatGPT. You can say pose as a historian or pose as a tax accountant. That's great, and it will use their general knowledge. But first of all, you're always having to say that. Second of all, you might want to train it with very particular knowledge to you. And so that's what we're going to try today. I want to create a bot or a GPT for Dougie Lux, who's my author pseudonym. And Dougie Lux writes on all sorts of adventurous topics, but has two books that he's published. One is a book all about intentional communities and community-owned property, the ins and outs and complexities of that. And the other is about being a digital nomad, and I wrote that this year. In fact, it was a collaboration it was my first AI project, a collaboration, and it was amazing. Within 30 days, I wrote and published this book and even cloned my voice and got it on Amazon. And that's called Free to Roam. And so what I thought is we might be able to use that as an example. So why don't we hop right in? And first things first, we've got our new window of ChatGPT. And if we're paying, we have this little Explore button. It's $20 a month, and that gives you all the advanced features of ChatGPT, and including this opportunity to make GPTs. So hop over there and you can press Explore. All right, so right off the bat, here's a list of pre-made ones that ChatGPT has. Soon, this is going to be populated with all sorts of chats or all sorts of GPTs from all sorts of companies, and there are going to be integrations for Canva so that you could preview it even in the chat and then open Canva. Things like making travel plans, any of those things. You can imagine romantic bots that you can ask for advice from, therapy bots, all sorts of things, modeled off of individual people's knowledge base, whether they take that from transcripts or PDFs or whatnot. So that's the thing. So once we get in here, we got a new ChatGPT, or a new GPT, and we can create one or we can configure one manually. So why don't we just try to create one? So I'm going to say I want to create a GPT clone for author Dougie Lux. I guess we don't even need clone. For author Dougie Lux to be able to share his knowledge and experience that he has written about in his books. All right, let's just see what happens if we just do that. Great, so we're gonna name it. Let's call it actually Dougie Lux Bot. I think that's kind of funny. Let's call it Dougie Lux Bot. And it's gonna start to generate a profile picture, which we'll see what it creates. I don't know if it even knows what who Dougie Lux is. We'll see. All right, so it made a sort of just pretty simple version of a book. We could continue. Maybe we could make it a, let's see, maybe make it like a, how about a psychedelic book, or a psychedelic colored book in a cosmic background. Let's just make it kind of colorful. All right, and let's see what happens. All right, so it's pretty wild, but it's kind of fun and colorful. I could put a lot more time into this, but let's just go with that. So, okay, looks good. Great. Okay, so now it says let's define the context. Firstly, in terms of its role and goals, what specific aspects of Dougie Lux's work should it focus on? Is there a particular theme you want to emphasize? Yes, I want it to be able to share insights from his book Free to Roam. Should I upload that PDF? All right, so it says uploading it is a great idea. So I'm gonna go over here to this little paperclip, and then I'm gonna go to my writing, and that was this year, and the latest writing files is there. So here we go, and we're gonna upload that. Okay, here's the document. Now it's going to update its knowledge base. And I think it would be fun to actually add my other book too and see what we can do. Oops. All right, well, so first it's going to say, when users ask questions, should Dougie Lux provide direct quotes from the book, summarize the concepts, or a mix of both? Additionally, how should the responses be? How detailed should the responses be? I would say summaries. Yeah, summaries with quotes is a great idea. And keep it concise. How would you like Dougie Lux Bot to personalize interactions? Should it have a friendly and casual tone? Yeah, I want you to use the tone that is used in the writing or the PDF that I just uploaded. So now it's going to look at that PDF and hopefully define a tone so it can sound like me when it responds. Great, and so it's going to update things. Dougie Lux Bot is now set to use. Would you like to test Dougie Lux Bot in the playground? Sure. Let's try it. All right, and so over here is the preview. All right, so tell me about a concept from Dougie Lux's book. And I'm curious here if I can actually configure it to be a little bit more special. So over here, I'm going to actually play around real quick with these questions. Okay, so I couldn't help myself. I uploaded my other book, The Motorcycle and the Molecule, which is all about intentional communities and shared property. And I also refined the prompt up here to talk about both and say I'm going to train you on the motorcycle and molecule. This bot will offer concise summaries and quotes capturing the essence of each book. His first book's about this, his second book's about that. Responses to users' questions should use his tone and make things accessible and relatable effectively. So, and the conversation starters that I put is, who is Dougie Lux? Give me a brief summary of Dougie Lux's bibliography. I'll just say his, or from one of Dougie Lux's books, and what lessons can be learned from Dougie Lux's writings. All right, so I quite like that. And let's see if it's pulled, like what it's pulled from these documents that I've uploaded. So this will be a shareable thing that I could say anyone with the link and actually going in the public store, or only just to me. At any point I can make that public if I want. So let's find out who Dougie Lux is. And so this, you could imagine, if this works well, you could add this for any book out there. You could create chat, or any author. This could be their, something that accompanies their book, which is kind of exciting. So Lux's writing is characterized by its ability to make complex concepts accessible and relatable, offering readers a blend of information and entertaining content. Okay, well, so that just started the conversation, I guess. So now I can say let's see, what is the summary for each book? Or can you give me a quick summary of each of his books? All right, and so this is going to be looking at those documents and pulling something out. So let's see what it says. Okay, after waiting for like a minute, it just said stopped searching knowledge. Something crashed there. So let's try it again. Okay, this time it worked. Here's a quick summary of each of his books. The book delves into the exploration of intentional communities and shared property models. It's a narrative that intertwines personal adventures with insightful observations about different forms of community living. The story navigates through various cultural landscapes and communal experiences, offering a perspective on the pros and cons of living in shared environments. Lux uses his journey to provide a deeper understanding of the dynamics and intricacies involved in these communities, making the concept both accessible and engaging for readers. I would say that's a pretty good example or a pretty good summary of the book. So let's see if it captured the other one. Free to Roam. This book is a comprehensive guide for digital nomads, particularly those emerging from the post-COVID era of remote work. It covers a range of topics essential for anyone considering or already living in a nomadic lifestyle. From transitioning to remote work, Lux understands the essence of digital nomadism to finding the right balance in this lifestyle. Lux provides practical advice and real-world insights. The book also addresses the expectations versus realities of digital nomadism, offering truth bombs and critical perspectives to help readers navigate this lifestyle more effectively. I would say both books are reflective of Lux's style, informative, entertaining, and deeply insightful. Well, thank you very much, ChatGPT, offering readers a unique blend of personal narratives and practical guidance. All right, so that's pretty accurate. So we just found a few useful things. Maybe now we could try something a little bit more abstract. Like, I know in the Motorcycle and the Molecule, there's a whole story of a beaver, not a particularly funny character, but funny the influence it has on the community that the beaver appears in. So I'd like to know more about the beaver from the Motorcycle and the Molecule, and the arc of and its story arc. Let's see. All right, so I moved out of the playground area, and I actually, now you can see it. It's up here. I wanted to see if that helps it be a little more reliable. So I'd like to know more about the beaver from the Motorcycle and the Molecule and its story arc. Let's see what it says. So after waiting a little bit, the beaver story arc is quite intriguing and symbolic. It's true. Initially, the return of the beaver to the watershed was met with enthusiasm and viewed positively. They even made T-shirts saying "Respect the Beaver." We didn't, but we had that idea. So it's really pretty funny. Like, yeah, this totally captures the whole thing, and it actually tells you the story arc, which I won't ruin in case you ever read it. But it got it completely accurate, which was cool. So I could also now say a little something more kind of just, I guess, practical. So how about Lux's top tips for buying property with a group of friends? Oh my gosh. Let's see if this pulls something out, because that book was a lot about the intricacies of sharing property. So let's see what happens. All right, great. So in the book, Lux emphasizes the importance of having a clear shared vision and financial alignment when buying property with a group of friends, especially for launching an intentional community. Key tips include establish a clear shared vision, financial alignment, and it gives you some tips. I mean, those are definitely two of the very big ones. And I would say anything else to consider when going in on a shared property with friends? Let's see. All right, so when considering going in on a shared property with friends, Lux's experiences at Manzanita offer additional insights beyond establishing a clear shared vision and ensuring financial alignment. Consider the order of actions, treat it as a business partnership, understand contractual terms, ensure clear communication. So I hope you can see that this is a really powerful tool. So you can upload PDFs and do this in a regular chat now. However, Dougie Lux bot is there whenever with all of that training in, and we just put in 2 PDFs, but you can put in a whole lot more. You can put in a whole lot more instructions. You can imagine how much, say you have transcripts, a large amount of transcripts. This is a project that I want to work on. I've got like 600 minutes of transcripts from a recent project, and I'm curious that if I can bring it in as all these files that I upload there, can it just be my own little private GPT that I can continue to talk to and explore as I write that project, right? So instead of every chat having to retrain or find the chat and hope that it, remembers what you were asking last, I just have my Dougie Lux bot up here that I can always start a new chat with or find an old chat from and pick up on, but never have to worry about training it again on those PDFs. So sit there and just, that's where they live. And so it's really exciting. We can only begin to imagine what's possible here. I also do branding and digital marketing. The Dougie Lux is kind of my fun side project. My actual work is more branding and digital marketing. And so how can I create bots that might help me in my work? Imagine me creating a bot even for a client. So say I talk with a client and I generate a whole bunch of content from our meetings that help me understand his company's or her company's brand and their solutions, their products. I can put that all in, say, just like brand bot, and now I can talk to it. I can hop on there if I say, I'm just totally brainstorming right now, but say for this week I need to work on all the content marketing for brand A, then I can go into brand A bot and I can be like, hey, it's Halloween this week. I guess it was a couple weeks ago. I'm a little bit late, but say it's a holiday. It's coming up to Thanksgiving. How about that? What could I do for product A, for brand A? Give me a whole week of content marketing. And so rather than having to go back in and consistently train these things, I just have that bot for that brand that sits there. I don't even know. I just thought of that right now. In fact, maybe I want to go do that after this. So I hope that this gets you excited about what's possible. Really thinking about how, not just could you have fun with it, or what kind of things that you would want to find, because you know there's going to be a huge marketplace very soon for anything that you can imagine, but also this amazing democratization of you creating bots that help yourself, or GPTs, OpenAI is calling them. So you create GPTs for yourself to kind of go back to continue research, to continue exploration. You could upload whole recipe books. You could upload tutorials. You could even put in imagery and other instructions. So I'm just beginning to scratch the surface. I would love to hear what you're doing with this, what you'd love to see done with this. What are some of the future implications that you might think are possible with this? OpenAI wants to create an app store effectively for their GPTs, for everyone's GPTs. So imagine if you put a lot of work into these, because these can even be combined with APIs for other systems. And what an API is, if you don't know, is a way for systems to talk to each other and interact. So something that's happening over in ChatGPT can influence something elsewhere. Like, for example, I've seen an interaction with Canva through their API where you can begin to create designs in the chat window and open it up right into Canva and then continue your designs in there. So I hope that was fun for you. This is totally mind-blowing new stuff. I just am so curious about what your thoughts are on it. Leave a message in the comments. If you're on YouTube, make sure to press subscribe and click the little bell so you get alerts. And if you didn't, you can find me at projectfresh.com. And if I made you curious about the writing of Dougie Lux, then you can head on over to dougielux.com and check out those books. So thanks again for joining me, and this has been a lot of fun to explore with y'all. All right, bye.